There were major failings with the app, such that 13% of users couldn't actually download it to their phones in the first place. A huge number of people found they were unable to put in negative results into the app and therefore were told to isolate even though they don't have the virus. People on the Welsh borders were finding that they were receiving information in Welsh. They couldn't understand the information. And so a huge number of problems. And of course, we know that probably less than 50% of people who have the virus are being adequately traced, and their contacts are being traced. And we know that less than 20% are able to actually self-isolate because of economic and other social pressures. So all of the public health measures, which could have been put into place, which China disseminated throughout the world, showed worked, and other countries have been able to put into place. South Korea, of course, let's not forget, developed an app which met approval with their population. No reason why you can't have measures which meet approval with the population, with adequate communication and adequate dissemination of information, and a government which is trusted by its people. So that app was put in place within weeks of the viral outbreak, allowing people to see where were high-risk areas, what buildings were best to avoid because cases had been seen there. By contrast, there's been a totally laissez-faire approach. People have been very smug in our government about the declining number of cases. Then, of course, the famous eat out to help out, trying to get the relatively affluent to go back to restaurants, trying to get everyone to go back to schools and universities without really any adequate measures. So we've never really, throughout this pandemic, had sight of the virus. What we do have sight of is the figures of the numbers of cases. ONS are now saying probably close to 10,000 cases per day. The number of deaths last week was back towards just over the 200 mark, when it was down to single digits, certainly less than 100 for several weeks throughout August, when of course schools are out, universities were out, people were working from home. And of course, we know that poverty is rising as the economic crisis is worsening.